Each dialogue was recorded separately by me, Manisha and Aparna, and then these dialogues were inserted into the storyboard as and where required. Wherever two or more characters appear to be saying the same thing at the same time, like this,
You Casanova?
these dialogues are actually recorded in separate voices at separate times and then mixed together in a software called Audacity. Special effects were added to What If not just to enhance the visual quality but also to hide certain limitations. The primary limitation was limited availability of clay and clay getting dry due to cold weather. As the clay became dry, the models lost their malleability, resulting in breakage at various points, particularly in the joints. For the first few times, I overcame this issue by patching up the required sections for these models. But later on it became very impractical, and finally I decided that I would do it through software. This involved patching up practically every new frame that I clicked. I would really like to call this part of patching up clay models to be a patch up rather than special effects, but nonetheless it involved the same kind of work that I used for special effects. Now I will discuss some real special effects. One of the earlier special effects was this hand, Anita's hand, banging on the door, and just before that ringing the doorbell. For ringing the doorbell, I created a clay hand, a disjoint hand, which would ring the bell, again a clay bell, with minute movement variation. For the banging door effect, I held the clay hand in my hand and actually banged it against the camera lens. After this, I removed the image of my hand from every frame. A significant part of the What If story happens in the night time, in the dark. Making use of this darkness effectively was a key ingredient to the success of the story. It was not practical to shoot in the dark, so I decided to paint each frame of this darkness with a particular shade of blue and painted the backdrop of most of these frames with pitch black color. Making this background pitch black served a dual purpose. It added a lot of drama to every scene and it hid a lot of unwanted background images. I also used the so-called green screen effect, which involves separating a particular subject from his background and putting him into a different background, as is evident from this shot of Anita against the house in the dark. One more notable scene was inserting a moon in every shot which happens in the terrace. I have deliberately shown moon much bigger in size than it actually appears in the sky. This exaggeration is deliberately done to add a dramatic effect. Even though all the scenes between Anita and Rocky are shot against a black paper, still I hand painted every frame to make sure the background was pitch black. This added a lot of pain to the process, but it was worth it. The last scene of What If involves Rocky splayed on the ground, blood oozing out of his throat and back. This was shot by making a lot of copies of the same frame and modifying each copy a little bit. And now over to my favorite special effect. I am sure a lot of you must have appreciated that one.
Hello? Hello?
This special effect involved only one frame captured with the camera. Rest all is a manipulation of a single frame to produce illusion of movement. For generating this effect, I captured a single frame of Anita standing. Then I separated this frame from its background and put it against a white background. I drew a shape of door and a light streak around Anita, drew the shadow of Anita, then painted the rest of the picture in pitch black. This created the illusion of Anita standing in the doorway. After this, I simply made multiple copies of this same frame and selectively blacked out small parts, progressively blacking out the whole picture. After this, I simply arranged the pictures in the reverse way, creating an illusion of door opening. The door creaking sound effect has further enhanced this special effect. The door closing scene is done in the similar fashion. Only this time, the entire frame was drawn in GIMP and not a single picture captured with the camera was added to it. The door closing scene had the same sound effect as door opening scene, but it ended with a thud. To show Anita's loneliness and anxiety when she peeks into the dark, I deliberately put two scenes of Anita standing in the door frame from different distances and added an echoing sound effect.
Hello? Hello?
I am sure you must have enjoyed this making of What If as much as or even more than what you enjoyed in What If. Thank you very much. This is Shirish and I will be soon back with something more interesting. Thank you.